Hey guys, it's Ghost57 coming at you from the power of YouTube through the internet itself. Okay guys, so in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at this big hunk of junk from 2016, the Alienware Area 51. I actually got this bad boy for $650 on eBay. Today, we're going to go ahead and put it to the test and see how well it does. See if it's even worth your $650, guys. Stay tuned. And there it is, guys, and it's all its beauty, the Alienware Area 51 from 2016. Just look at that beautiful power button in the shape of an alien head. Awesome. You got the disc reader, the audio in, and mic out. And you also got two nifty USB 3.0s, which is great speed. And you got the micro SD card in the front, which is pretty cool. So the cool thing about this is you do have a lifting area, so you can lift up this behemoth of a machine. Probably not with one hand, but at least they do give you somewhere to lift it from. And I love the triad theme of this computer. Just look at it, guys. It's beautiful. It reminds me of the Illuminati or some type of pyramid of Egypt or something crazy like that, which is pretty cool for gamers. All this lights up in RGB once you turn it on, so it does look pretty nice at night as well. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the rear I/O now. So now that we're looking at the rear I/O, as you see right there, we have 4 USB 2.0s and 4 USB 3.0s. So you can definitely have a plethora of USB devices in the back. You got a nice 120mm output fan, and there's your graphics card. We'll talk about that once I open up the chassis. And you do got your 875 watt power supply from Dell, which is a pretty substantial amount of power for only one graphics card. Pretty nice with the ample amount of power they give you. Then look at all those slots, guys. That's pretty cool. This was meant to actually fit 3 graphics cards in here, so it only has one. This was the lesser expensive one when it came out. So let's go to open this bad boy up. So the cool thing about the Alienware Area 51 is it's pretty much a toolless design. There's a little lever back here that you lift up, and the side panel pops off with ease. Look how nice that is, guys. Look at the beautiful interior of this computer as well. All the wires are nice and tucked away. Cable management is excellent, Dell. Good job. And there's the GTX 970 4GB reference card from NVIDIA with a nice backplate to make it look nice and clean. This is Dell's 875 watt power supply, which is definitely a beefy power supply for this system. Dell actually had a 1500 watt power supply, but that was mostly reserved for the multiple GPU rigs that they sold in 2016 as well. As you see right here, there is a nice way to tuck your cards away and keep them safe. It's like a bracket of some sort, mostly used for shipping, but pretty cool, Dell. Nice job. So let's go ahead and take a look at the chassis fans. So right there in the front, we have a 120mm chassis fan on the bottom and one on top for the intake fans. And then we have a water-cooled CPU, which is nice. It also works out as the exhaust fan, another 120mm chassis fan. So definitely nice airflow in this case, especially with the size of the case. You can actually get a lot of hot air out of this case. So not too bad. Let's go ahead and jump to the back and see what's on the back of this computer. So let's go ahead and take off the back panel. Same idea, lift up on the tab and it comes straight off. And again, a very neat job. Look at this. You have 3 brackets for hard drives and then 2 for SSDs, and everything's pre-wired. I actually bought this and put it in. It's a 4TB NAS drive. We'll go into details about that later. But everything's pre-wired. Just pretty much plug and play. Screw your hard drives in. And look at this cool idea for the SSDs. You can actually put 2 together like sandwiched in, right on the back of there, and just screw it in. You got 2 SSDs. This one only came with a 240GB SSD, and again I just added the hard drive for extra game storage. We got the RGB stuff on the back of here and the front panel stuff, and then your disk drive. So all the, I guess, business part of the computer is in the back, almost like a mullet. So we're gonna go ahead and get this machine ready to be moved. So let's go ahead and get our muscles warmed up and move this behemoth over to the gaming center. So like I was saying, hopefully you've been doing your reps at the gym, guys, because this thing is quite heavy. This one rounds up to 65 pounds. but because of the awkward shape of the computer, the triangle shape, it's actually pretty hard to lift. So you can lift from here if you're all biceps, but I like to go ahead and grab one hand on the bottom, one on top to get ready to move it. And this thing is heavy, guys, especially nowadays with the microcomputers, the mini computers, and the ITS computers. This is not from 2021. So we're gonna go ahead and put it over here, plug it in, and see how well it does, guys, but definitely heavy. I am struggling. So let's go ahead and turn this machine on since we moved it. Beautiful, beautiful, guys. Look at that alien head on the top of the unit itself. And the nice customizations you can do with Alienwares are pretty impressive, even from 2016. As you can see, I already put the Ghost 57 color on there, the pink purplish color. Pretty nice. We're gonna go to jump into some games, guys, and test this machine out. So in today's video, guys, we're using this Asus Turf gaming monitor to actually benchmark this computer. The reason why I'm using this monitor is that it's a budget-friendly monitor. At 1080p and 144 frames a second, you can do pretty well with competitive gaming, and it's below $200 on most days. If you want this monitor, go ahead and click down below in my Amazon link and go ahead and buy it. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and start benchmarking this computer. As in tradition, we're going to go ahead and start off with Overwatch as the first game we're going to benchmark. So the cool thing about this game is it came out in 2016, and so did the Alienware Area 51 we're testing out today. So they should definitely pair very well. So for the high setting, on average, we got 144.5 frames a second. For medium, we got 152 frames a second. And for low, we got 153.4 frames a second. So yes, we did definitely max out the frame rates for this monitor and this game. So we're going to go ahead and try a more difficult to play game, Star Wars Battlefront. Let's go ahead and get into that, guys. So let's go ahead and jump into this game, guys. So overall, this game is more difficult to render, more details, and more player characters. So on Supremacy, you can play 40 versus 40, and that's actually where I'm taking the benchmark from. So on a high, we got 86 frames a second, on medium, 93 frames a second, and on low, 134 frames a second, which is not bad. Definitely, if you want to be more competitive, play on a lower detail setting, but 86 frames a second on high is still very good, and a very nice, beautiful images that you're getting on the screen, and pretty smooth. So we're going to go ahead and jump into Apex, which is a little bit more harder to render than this game. Of course, we're going to leave the hardest for last. Let's jump into it, guys. So Apex is actually one of the newer games we're actually benchmarking today. Overwatch came out in 2016, Battlefront came out in 2017, and overall Apex came out in 2019, not including the updates and patches. So this is the newest one, of course, that we're playing today. On average, we got on high 100 frames a second, which is excellent. On medium, 102 frames a second, and on low, 106 frames a second. So overall, this game is pretty hard to render. It stays around the 100 frame marks, which is great. And I was playing Arena, so not a really big match. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to get into some CPU and GPU benchmarks on 3D Mark. Let's go ahead and take a look, guys. So today we're using TimeSpy to both benchmark the GPU and CPU, and what we're looking at right here is actually thermals. So far the GPU is doing excellent at 100% usage, and it's only at 52-53 degrees Celsius, which is excellent, probably because how big the case is and how well the airflow is set up. And the CPU is also very, very cool at 38 degrees Celsius. So overall, I would say it's a pass for thermodynamics, and everything's looking pretty good and running very smooth. We are getting about 20 frames a second, which is normal for this type of test, especially with this older GPU and CPU combination. Let's go ahead and jump into the results. And there's our score, guys, 3,647 on TimeSpy, which is a pretty good score for 2016, but in 2020 or 2021, it's not very good. We have the i7-5820K in here with 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, clocked at 21 megahertz. And this is what we got, 17% better than computers in 2020. For some reason, it's not showing us 2021, which is okay. This will probably be 3% better than computers in 2021. But you can see these are 20 series graphics cards in these computers that we're comparing against, and pretty good graphics cards compared to the one that we have in our system, which is a 970 with the 4 gigabytes of VRAM. So overall, this computer did amazing, and I think it is really worth the price. For $650, you're getting 32 gigabytes of RAM, you're getting an i7 Intel Core processor, even though it's a 5th gen, and you're getting an SSD. Especially with how easy it is to upgrade with all those storage outputs, and you can put up to 3 graphics cards in there. I bet you if I put a 20 series graphics card in there, the results will be a little better. That might be a video for another day. Anyways guys, this was Ghostbit Miner coming at you from the power of YouTube through the internet itself. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed, hit the like button if you liked it, and leave a comment down below if you have any recommendations for future videos. I'll see you in the next video. Ghostbit Miner out.